greatest cowboy who ever lived wasn't John Wayne or Clint Eastwood. He wasn't a movie character at all. He was real. And his story is crazier, wilder, and more unbelievable than anything Hollywood ever filmed. His name was William F. Cody, but the world would come to know him as Buffalo Bill. And he became, without a doubt, the most famous man of the entire Wild West. Not because someone wrote his story, but because he lived it, breathed it, and then showed it to the entire world. Before he was a legend, he was just a kid, but a kid unlike any other. He grew up on the dangerous American frontier, where survival was a daily test. At just 14 years old, he got one of the most dangerous jobs imaginable, a rider for the Pony Express. Imagine that, a teenager racing a horse across hundreds of miles of untamed territory, facing down storms, bandits, and hostile lands, all just to deliver a bag of mail faster than anyone else. This wasn't a game, it was his job, and it forged him into the man he would become. As he got older, his skills only grew sharper. He became a scout for the US Army, a role where his knowledge of the vast, unforgiving wilderness was legendary. He knew the land better than most maps of the time. Soldiers, seasoned veterans, trusted this young man with their lives, following him through treacherous terrain, where one wrong turn meant disaster. And his marksmanship, it was said to be almost supernatural. People who saw him swore he could hit a tiny target while riding a horse at a full gallop, reloading his rifle without even slowing down. He wasn't just good, he was a force of nature. He earned his famous nickname by supplying buffalo meat to railroad workers, proving his skill as a hunter was second to none. But here's what separates Buffalo Bill from every other tough frontiersman, scout, or cowboy of his era. It's what made him a global icon. He did something no one had ever thought to do before. He took the raw, untamed, thrilling essence of the American Wild West, and he put it on a stage for the entire world to see. Buffalo Bill created the very first Wild West show. This wasn't a play with actors pretending to be cowboys. This was the real deal. He hired real cowboys, men who had lived the life. He brought in real sharpshooters whose skills would leave you breathless. He even featured real Native American performers, including the great Chief Sitting Bull for a time, offering a glimpse into a culture few outsiders had ever witnessed. And his show had star power. The legendary Annie Oakley, a woman who could shoot a playing card out of the air from 90 feet away, joined his troupe, becoming a superstar in her own right. The show was an absolute sensation. It wasn't just a few people in a small town theater. Crowds of thousands, sometimes tens of thousands, flocked to see it. He toured all across America, and then he did the unthinkable. He took the show to Europe. Suddenly, kings, queens, and the high society of London, Paris, and Rome were watching in utter awe as cowboys performed daring feats of horsemanship and sharpshooters put on dazzling displays of skill. Buffalo Bill didn't just tell stories about the West. He brought the West to life, right before their eyes. He turned the American frontier into a global phenomenon. Think about it for a second. Every cowboy movie you've ever seen, every Western hero you've ever rooted for, every piece of cowboy culture we know and love today, it all traces back to him. He created the archetype. He was the blueprint. He showed the world what a hero of the West looked like, because he was one. Buffalo Bill wasn't a myth made up for the movies. He wasn't a character in a book. He was the original, the first global superstar of the West. And for that, he truly was the greatest cowboy who ever lived. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this piece of history, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more stories you won't find in the history books. See you next time.